Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Real Talk. I am so delighted to have my next guest. I talk about her all the time to people. I mean, I know they're like, is this a family member or what? Because for some reason, I always get on the topic. But I'm so excited to have Lorraine here with me today. I'm just going to let her do a quick intro and then we're going to get into the topic of life after 50. So, Lorraine, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm in awe of you all the time. We were just quickly talking about a parking issue with my grandson at college, and it never ends. It just never ends.
It
And even it's
never
a
ends.
grandchild. But so my name is Lorraine Sanborn. My business is Fabulous Begins at 50. And just a little background about me. I'm a widow. I'm a grandmother. I'm a mother of two. My husband passed away in 2010. I was primary caregiver for him. And then in 2013, after he'd been gone 3 years, I had to look at myself and say, what are you going to do to age healthy? So I partnered with a company called Isagenix. I needed to lose some weight. I wanted more energy. And the last 9 years are all part of my story. So any questions, anything you want to know about me, I'll be happy to answer.
I love that. Now, I'm so impressed. I will always remember your birthday because it's the same day as my mother's.
Right.
But people, and it's not always etiquette to tell your age, but I'm amazed that you are actually 80. And you said you've been doing this business for 9 years. So I just said you have to come on and really inspire people over 50 because, there's that point where we feel like I'm too old. I don't know about this social media and all these different things. And you stay well versed with that. I mean, just before we hit record, you're telling me how you've connected your PC to your phone so that you'll never miss a beat on either one. So, talk to us about, how do you stay inspired when most people would write you off as being too old?
It's funny because to answer that question, there's a couple things that come up in my life, and some of them are, when are you going to retire?
Mm,
Well, first of all, I meet once a month with people that I graduated high school with in 1959.
mhm.
And when I started with this, and I'm not putting anybody down because they're wonderful people, but we allow ourselves to get old.
Mm.
So my daughter is 57. There's empty nest situations, life changes with her. There's life changes with especially women when they reach 50. Their bodies are changing. Their nests are getting emptied. Some of them are getting divorced and they need to create a new lifestyle. And when you ask me to talk about social media and the things that I do to keep myself abreast of different technology, I
Mhm.
remember years ago somebody saying to me, geez, I just got a divorce. I need to get a job. And they're asking me if I can type and what are my job skills. And there were none for her, which was really sad. And it wasn't just her, it
Mm.
was so many people in that time frame that their lives were changing and they didn't know how to create a resume. They didn't know how to get online. And it was really sad. And I didn't want that to happen to me. And I don't want that to happen to other people. So with my business, I help people achieve their health goals and their wealth goals. But if you're not, if you can't get on to different forms of social media like Facebook, which I am in Facebook jail now. I've been in Facebook jail since April, trying to post a picture of my grandson, who's a All-American wrestler in college in a tournament,
Mhm.
in his outfit, whatever they want to call it. And Facebook closed me down. In the
Mm.
beginning, it was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because I don't have Facebook anymore. Well, I now spend more time on LinkedIn,
Mhm.
and I actually paid a coach a couple of years ago to help me with LinkedIn and to get me where I needed to be. And there's a really cool story about how I got my original banner from LinkedIn, and networking is such a big part of my life. And we have to be networking, whether it's online or in person. But quick story, I'm talking to this woman who is a marketer. This was when I first started really being consistent on LinkedIn, didn't have a banner. So we're having this great conversation. And she says to me, I'm going to create a banner for you. Now, LaChelle, I thought, oh my God, I don't know if I can afford this woman to do a banner for me. She said, no, I'm going to gift this to you. So she made this beautiful banner and she named it Fabulous Begins at 50. And I thought, is this going to put me into a niche that older people or younger people aren't going to want to talk to me about? But what's happened is when you're out there, whether it's in Instagram or LinkedIn, I've started with Alignable because now I don't have Facebook and all those friends anymore. So I reach out, and if I'm talking to a mom who's 50, 60 years old, and she's using these great products that I offer her, and she's happy, what is she going to do with them, LaChelle? Who's she going to share them with?
All her friends.
All her friends. She's going to share them with her parents. Like my daughter is the sandwich generation, right? But we also have kids. I have grandchildren in college. One is working on her master's. So many families have little kids, and they're going out without breakfast, or they're coming home and they're starving. I don't want to get into a commercial for my products, but I love my products. I can't help it. It just happens. But we talk about being older and over 50, our lives are starting to change. And how do I want to put it? I keep myself open to learning because when my brain starts to shut down and I'm not learning anymore, that's when I personally am going to get old.
I love that.
And
So
I get old.
I don't blame you. I mean, I'm just amazed, and I'm glad that we have these times where we catch up, get together, have conversations, because I think it's important to staying relevant. But my next question is, what do you do in a daily routine? Because a lot of people are like, well, how much energy does she really have? And we can be younger and feel like I just don't have any energy to do whatever. So what do you feel with your experience are the important things that we need to focus on in a day?
Well, I just inherited a dog, which I didn't want because it changes my life a lot when you have a dog. But now I get up between 5:30 and 6 o'clock, and she needs to go out. So I am now walking, and I'll be honest, I wasn't walking for a long time. So I also make sure that I have I eat my breakfast because a lot of times we're walking out the door, especially if we're still working, or we got to get the kids to school, or the kids are walking out without breakfast. So I'll just say I have my protein shake every single morning, and I have other products that I take with it. But I get up, I'm at my computer. I'm either on LinkedIn or I'm answering emails, or for me, I belong to an international networking organization called BNI, Business Network International. And I belong to a chapter, but I was given the opportunity to be what they call a chapter success coach. So I'm responsible now for helping the leadership in 4 other chapters. I'm helping them, but the philosophy is giver's gain, right? So I had a lot to learn in August and September because of transition leadership and all that stuff. My brain was wide open and I was just learning so much. So my days can be 4 or 5 hours, or they could be 10 or 12. It depends on how much I want to put into it. So I'm not sure if that quite answers your question.
Yeah, I love that, because I just think, hearing that and still giving back, I think that's amazing. I think my next question is how do we give back in a way, that is of value? Because a lot of people can write us off at a certain age, and it's like, do they really want our input? I mean, I know with my kids, I'm trying to get to the point to where we can be more on a friendship level. They're giving telling me information, and I'm not having that urge to be like, you need to do it this way and that way. But there's a certain stigma sometimes about being older that we don't know what's happening. We're so far removed. But how do you is in your current position, share your value in a way that people will glean from it or learn from it.
I think I'm sharing my experience
Mm,
with networking. I mean, I've been in network marketing probably my whole adult life.
mhm,
So I'm always, it's not just what I'm giving, it's what people are giving back to me,
mm,
if that makes sense.
mhm,
I network. I'm very active in our local chamber of commerce. I have a networking group I started almost 13 years ago for women. I have my BNI. Last weekend, granddaughter, my daughter, my granddaughter's fiance, we went up to Tyler's college,
mhm,
and I was out and about all day. There was football, there was tailgating, there was apple orchards, there was, I mean, I just get out. I just feel that
mhm,
we can sit on the couch. I could take a Saturday and just binge walk,
mhm.
everything. Hold on, that's my car is finished, so I'll have to get back to that. It's in for an oil change. I have a new car. I have a new 2022 Honda CRV. And I'm young
Oh,
because I love my new car. I get in, I drive. When we go to New Hampshire, I drive 200 some odd miles one way and back.
wow.
So I guess my message would be get up, get off the couch, and go outside. Reach
Mhm,
out. A couple Saturdays ago, I was feeling sorry for myself. There was nobody to do anything with. So I got
mhm,
up and I went out and I just took a ride and stopped and took some pictures in the park. Um,
mm.
LaChelle, it's real easy to get inside and never get back out.
So true. So true. Now, so you said you connect with your high school colleagues, but how does it feel? I mean, like, are you the only one that's as active as you are? I mean, I just couldn't imagine this is an everyday occurrence, but what is it that, how does that keep you um abreast of the pulse, whether it's those that age or those that are not at that age group? How does that help you having those meetings? Because I'm just wondering that not everybody is as spry as you are and as active. And, I mean, you're driving 200 and something miles. I mean, I mean, I'm 51 and I'm like, what?
It's interesting because when you ask that, we meet once a month for either lunch or dinner, depending on what the season is.
Hmm.
And I love it when I walk in, and this isn't an ego thing, but it makes me feel good. Like I'll get this, wow, you look like you had such a good time when you went such and such a place. Or here she
Hmm.
comes, and she never sits still, that kind of
Hmm.
recognition. And I
Hmm.
get frustrated sometimes because I want that for them too.
Hmm.
And it's not happening. And it really, it's just, it saddens me.
Hmm.
One of the guys just lost his wife, and we're all 80. I'm the second youngest in my class. So everybody else is like
Wow.
already 81, and I'm not 81 until December.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I don't know how to answer that question. I just feel good. I mean,
Mm.
here we go, but I use really good health products.
Mhm. And I
And
mean, definitely that's one of the things that makes the difference, because I could think a lot of things like, memory, being able to remember things, motor skills. You're talking about walking, driving. I mean, just for me, 80 was an age that I thought, hey, assisted living or some other thing, but you're running a business. So talk to us about your motivation 9 years ago to get started. And did you envision yourself being where you are today? 9 years ago.
So the reason I saw myself getting started
Mm-hmm.
was that I didn't want to get old and not be around for great grandchildren, weddings, college graduations. I am a hands-on grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
When my granddaughter was born, I was there at birth. I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
at the birth.
Right.
And for years, I took care of her 5 nights a week while her mom died, while her mom worked.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they told us Tyler was pregnant, when she was pregnant with Tyler, I went, oh my God, am I going to do this again? But I did. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, very close to my grandchildren. And when they introduce me to their friends, I'm Granny.
Mm-hmm.
And this is important to me. I want to be that grandmother who is there for every occasion. There's an engagement party on Saturday for Jessica. Uh, what would I do? I have to be there. This is
Mm-hmm.
just who I am. So my motivation to continue for the last 9 years is A, because I believe in what I use. And consequently, if I believe in what I use, I have to share that with people because I would feel very selfish if I did not at least say to you, LaChelle, this is what I have. Your
Mm-hmm.
choice whether you want to use it or not.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very important for me that I let people know what I do. And you talk about the brain. We have a new product. It's called Nootropic, and it's an elixir. It looks like a
Mm-hmm.
bottle like this, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Recyclable glass bottle, one shot, and it helps me with brain focus,
Mm-hmm.
mental energy. I've been using this now. I think I'm on my third box, so like a month, maybe a month and a
Mm-hmm.
half.
Mm-hmm.
One day, a couple of weeks ago, I forgot to take it. And you know how you get like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you get one of these?
Mm-hmm.
I was getting that, and I'm going, what is wrong with me? And then I said, you forgot to take that. You didn't take your collagen either. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's, I probably, I don't believe I would feel as good as I do if I didn't continue to learn, if I
Mm-hmm.
didn't keep up with technology, if I didn't get out and see people. I do a lot of Zoom calls because, especially during the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't go see anybody. So I went on LinkedIn and I made connections. And then when those connections responded, we made an appointment and we did Zoom calls.
Mm-hmm.
So for that 2 years, I didn't stop from being with people and keeping
Mm-hmm.
up my energy level, mental
I
energy level.
I love that. Now, so do you feel the pressure of having to have all the answers? And the reason why I say that is, usually there's like age groups, like you have senior leaders in organizations or, somebody who knows something that could mentor somebody else. But, based on your business and where you're at, do you feel that pressure of, having to be that mentor or having to know the answers for certain things? Because again, I don't think there's very many people that I've encountered that are in that age group that are doing what you're doing.
I, so I don't, this is a philosophy I had a long time ago is I don't have to put everything into this brain to remember because there's always resources for me to
Mm.
go to. So with the company, we have well, I call it a blog website. It's
Mhm.
isagenixhealth.net.
Mhm.
I can look up so much stuff there. I can
Mhm.
send that to people. I can send them to my website. They can look at the product that they're thinking about buying. They can scroll down. They can see the ingredients. They can see the nutrition. Somebody might say to me, well, what's in that nootropic? I said, I have no idea. Let's go look. All I know is that the company only uses the best ingredients. They're all product tested. They're all peer reviewed studies. I know that when I open up this bottle and I
Mhm.
drink it, I'm getting whatever I need for me in there. So it's trust.
Mhm.
So I have so many resources that I can send people to, or we can go together, or we can become accountability partners. I have a friend
Mhm.
who in in 10 days, she and I are going to start a 30-day weight management program together as
Mhm.
accountability partners. So
Love that.
lots of resources. I guess does that, yeah.
That definitely is. I mean, and I love that you said you don't have to keep it all, don't have to remember it all, because there are resources, and that is really key because everybody has information at their fingertips through smartphones and computers now. And a lot of times we bog ourselves down with information that we don't need to remember. You know, we've got all kind of stuff in here that can affect our ability to move quickly, make better decisions and everything, because we do have clutter in our brain, just like clutter that's physical clutter in our
Yeah.
houses and things of that nature. So I love that. Now,
Yeah.
so tell us more about, what's your vision? As we're ending 2022, we're going into 2023. What's your vision for your business in 2023?
Well, first of all, the vision is for me to continue to stay healthy so that I can bring my business into 2023. I'm looking for 2023. In our business, there are things called rank advancements where you get compensated more, and all of that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I love our compensation plan. But there are a couple of levels that I would like to achieve between now and probably the next 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Because as I achieve those levels, I'm helping more people.
Mm-hmm.
For people that are knowledgeable about network marketing, we all grow together. And
Mm-hmm.
I love this company because I can never lose anybody under me. And I just heard a horror story the other day about a big company who, when this person got to the top level, everybody under her got moved out.
Mm-hmm.
It was bizarre that I could think that that would happen. So if somebody's looking for a business in this industry, they need to look at really the compensation plan and to make sure that
Mm-hmm.
what they're building is going to continue on with them. So I guess my goals are to reach that next level, to have probably 20 new preferred customers and what we call consultants, so
Mm-hmm.
that we can all grow and make a lot of money.
Love that. I mean,
But
that is
that
just,
doesn't single out, just I'm looking for customers also, people that I can share these amazing products with.
I love that. And I just love the whole thing of having that clarity that it is over 50. It's like you don't have to change who you are. So often we have a lot of business people who they go for years trying to be who they think everybody wants them to be. And they don't really have that opportunity to embrace their authentic self until something happens, whether it's a crisis with their health or some financial thing, or, losing family or friends, relationships because you're going through this process. So I love that you're able to step right up and do what you love, how you love to do it, with you fully embracing who you are. So I think that is just a great, great message that you're sharing with everybody.
Thank you. I feel that I'm a very real person,
Mm-hmm.
and
Love
I'm
that.
not a high pressure salesperson. I do believe that what I have to give, whether it's my business, whether it's my networking, whether it's just me personally,
Mm-hmm.
what you see is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
And
Love that.
whether you're 50 or you're 80, that age in between, we've just got to stay open, active, and mentally stimulated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
I
totally
watch,
agree.
yeah, I watched my daughter. I had surgery in January, and she moved in with me, and her marriage wasn't real good at the time either. And she never
Mm-hmm.
went back home. And now her
Mm-hmm.
life is amazing. And she's gonna be 57 next month.
Yeah.
But her life totally changed. I mean, she went from being married to
Mm-hmm.
in a situation where she wasn't happy to her
Mm-hmm.
own apartment with someone now in her life that's making her happy.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to be unhappy. And I know it takes a lot to make those moves. because I did it. I did it. And before I was a widow, I was divorced. And, it was just life.
Yeah.
Go
So
with it.
true. So true. I love that. And you don't have to be defined by the obstacles that you face. I think a lot of us kind of get stuck with that. And I mean, it's so remarkable. Like whatever you have encountered in the past, you just have this way of just still getting up every day to the plate, I mean, ready to do whatever it takes. And it really is evident with your energy and everything. Every time I talk to you, it's just like, what's next? And I just think that is so remarkable because, like I said, so often, I just think here in America, and I don't know if I should be making such an assumption, but usually the older we get, it's like people see we have less value, and I think that's why a lot of us don't want to get old because it's like, oh, I don't want people to just forget about me, don't think I'm relevant, and that's really how we determine people's value here in America. And so I think, one of the things that I'm impressed is I love being able to talk to older people because I want to avoid some of the pitfalls that I've run into. There's this a space where you begin to say, I've had some of these experiences. I'm learning that I'm the one making the choice in these experiences. Maybe I better get some better information, with some people that have done it so I can avoid some of this mess, you know?
Just hoping people, reach out to someone who's older. You're
Yeah.
right. Let them share their experience with you. It may not be, hold on, my daughter.
Hmm.
It may not be what you want to hear, but
Hmm.
it's there. It's there.
Love that. Well, thank you so much, Lorraine, for
You're
being
welcome.
on today, sharing your insights, and tell everybody how they can get a hold of you outside of Facebook and
That's right.
any other things that you might, anything you might want to share with us or things you have coming up or whatever you would like to close with.
Thank you. So I have a digital business card, which
Hmm.
I find is really easy for people to get a hold of and just download my contact information right into their phone. They
Hmm.
just have to dial. First of all, you're going to text the number 321
Hmm.
421 5213, and the word that you're going to put in there is energy. So you
Mm.
text the word energy to 321 421 5213, and you can download my digital business card right into your phone. So
Mm.
yeah, I'm keeping up, LaChelle.
I,
I'm
you're
keeping up.
keeping up.
The other thing is I am on LinkedIn, which is Lorraine M. Sanborn.
Hmm.
I have an Instagram, which I still haven't figured out how I can have an Instagram with no Facebook, but I'm using it. My Instagram is Sanborn Rainey, SANBORNRAINE on Instagram. And I'm also on Alignable.
Awesome. And then
So
any final thoughts?
my final thoughts is please reach out to me. There's no question that you can ask me that isn't something that I've already experienced, or if I don't have the answer, I'll get it for you.
Hmm.
Um, my website, can I give my website
Yeah,
too?
absolutely.
So my website is my name,
Hmm.
Lorraine Sanborn, all one word, lowercase, dot Isagenix,
Mm.
ISAGENIX.com. And you can text me at 860-235-0257. So
Love
those how
it.
you can get a hold of me. And LaChelle, thank you so much. I love the opportunities to chat with you. We've never met in person, but I
Mm-mm.
think we've talked about this before. I consider you a friend, and it's
Yes.
great. And I watch what you're doing all the time.
Well, thanks so much for coming again. And I feel the same way about you and so inspired by everything that you're doing. And
Thank
for
you.
those of you that are watching, definitely reach out to Lorraine. I'm telling you, what you see is what you get. She is amazing. And you'll be like, how are you doing all this? Right. So if you're ever having those moments where it's like, man, you're getting in your own way, you're feeling down, call Lorraine, or even just watch her posts and the things that she shares on LinkedIn and Instagram. You'll be glad that you did. So thanks again, Lorraine.
Thank you, LaChelle. And everybody have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye for now, everyone.
Bye.